Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will here, ready to talk that Detroit Lions football. Listen, post first football game, quote unquote. No, it's preseason. We're gonna get into some things, but before we do, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're thinking about winning some free Detroit Lions stuff, think about becoming a member. Steve, where you want to get started with this thing, man?
I don't want to start with negatives, Will. We got plenty of time in the day for that. I want to start this show now that I've had some time to sleep on it, have the most frustrating drive from Canton, Ohio back to home. My mind is just in a blender from things I see traffic-wise. Worst state. Ohio is the worst state in the world to drive through. It's not even close. There's no second place. I don't even know who it is. That's how far away the separation is, William. But I want to start with some positives that I saw. First and foremost, if you have not had a chance to get to the Canton Hall of Fame, it is absolutely amazing. Great experience. Stadium was beautiful. That was my first outdoor pro game, William. So that was kind of like a check off the box there. Absolutely fantastic stadium, fantastic people all around. The setup was great. Lots to do, food, beer, you name it. Everything was there. Walking through the Hall of Fame, I got a bunch of pictures. It was absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 experience. If you can make it down there, absolutely try to make that happen. But when it came to the football game, William, there were some positives. There were some things I liked. What was your biggest positive that you took out of this game?
Well, Steve, before we get into it, fun fact.
There's not many, right?
Your boy played on that field. Your boy.
Really?
Yeah. Tiffin Dragons played on that field. My first college football game. And it wasn't very exciting, but I found it more exciting than what I watched last night. So
I can't argue.
Positives from last night, man, was Isaac Tesla. Bottom line. That's a definite positive. So if we're going to talk about positive, how did you feel about the effort and the performance that he put down?
For only having 2 catches at 46 yards, it felt like he was kind of the focal point of the offense, I would say. Like, it just seemed like he was targeted 3 times, but he only had 2 catches. I don't know, maybe it was such a positive because there was a lot of bad things offensively. But if we're just sticking to Isaac, I thought he had a great game. I thought he showcased what he can do, getting open, working underneath the middle of the field, catching in step for step and being a little physical. He had that catch that he broke off like 24 yards where, hey, I might be going out of bounds, but yeah, I'm not going to go willingly. Like, you're going to have to make me go. Small sample size, but I think he's trending in the right direction. I'm not getting overly excited. That's kind of what I was expecting. I would have liked to see a few more catches, but I think there was a reason why that wasn't possible. So I thought, yeah, for his very first game, I thought he played well. Even on special teams as a gunner, he got down there and was an impact, forcing the return to a fair catch a couple. I do think he was probably the most impressive offensive Lion for the night.
I dig that, man. And I can piggyback that. 2 catches were cool. Caught him with his hands. I love to see that. I loved what he was doing in the run game. He was getting physical in that run game, getting after it, and he was a willing participant in the physicality. I really enjoyed that from him, man. Hey, no block, no rock in Detroit. I think he's a lot of people on Twitter are going absolutely crazy saying that I told you and all of this stuff. I've been seeing the tweets about, hey, Brad got another one. He got another one. The comparisons to Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are being thrown out there.
Do you think it's fair, Will? I got to ask you, do you think those are fair comparisons for 2 catches, 46 yards?
In a preseason game as well? Absolutely not, man. Do I see something? I do. I did. And the biggest thing that excited me was the burst on the first catch. He caught it, and then he had a little bit of burst. He hit, if you play the video games, he hit that R2 button, right? He hit that turbo after he caught the ball. That was cool. It's cool to see. I still stand on what I was saying. Elite, absolutely elite role player is what I'm expecting out of him in year 1, but nothing more than that. We got to pump the brakes on these Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Calvin Johnson. Hey, let's just get the guy in a regular season game first before we're deeming him a gold jacket wearer.
Yeah, again, I think he's trending in the right direction. The toe has just tipped into the pool. He's not fully engulfed in the water yet. So we'll see what happens, but I do like what I saw. I also think that Dominic Lovett had a pretty decent little game too. I think he'd probably be my second guy, just a volume catcher. 9 targets. He had 5 catches, 31 yards. Again, nothing crazy, but he did have a drop. He did have a drop, Will, that I think was on the first offensive possession. Not ideal. All right, we'll just chalk that up to some butterflies. First NFL game, maybe a little nerves, but other than that, I thought he settled in. I thought he was a good receiver. He had a big 4th down catch. I thought he kind of showcased his skill set too. What did you see on your end from Dominic Lovett?
Hey, if you watch the channel, you know I've been pounding the table for Dominic Lovett, and he did pretty much everything that I needed to see for me to continue to pound the table. But I do feel like Dominic Lovett had a little bit of a welcome to the NFL for him. You know, the first play, I think in college he catches that football. He gets the opportunity to juggle around with it and then tuck it away. In the NFL, these guys are hungry, trying to feed their families. And when he was juggling it, still trying to make a move and corral the ball, the guy, you know, raked his arms or punched it out. I haven't got a chance to really break down and rewatch the film like I will today, but I think he got the opportunity to learn that the NFL isn't a game. And then on the interception, he has to corral that ball on that interception where the ball just got taken from him like he was a baby, right? We got to find a way to catch that clean, tuck it away, and not let that defender take it from us. Those are 2 plays that stood out in my mind as welcome to the NFL plays. But besides that, he looked like exactly what I expected. He looked explosive. He looked like a guy who can be that all-purpose kind of twitchy dude. You can hit him with some reverses. You can hit him with some negative throws where he can go get you, you know, like 3, 4, 5 yards, like a run play on those little hitches and stuff like that. I think that he can find a place with the Detroit Lions. I think he'll find his way on this roster.
Yeah, I think he was just a great volume catcher yesterday. Just he had the most catches, most targets. Like I thought he played very, very well. But who kind of surprised me the most, Will, was a guy that I think I even said I'm not very high on him. Like, you know, get your reps in, try to get a job on another team or the practice squad, was Jabari Small. Like, not a massive game either, but 11 carries, 35 yards. But when I was just watching him run, Will, he's not a guy that's going to just lay down and let you tackle him. Like, he was delivering some punishment. I don't know what you could hear on the TV end, but at the stadium, you could hear him dishing out some punishment with some of those runs. So how did you feel about his game?
Jabari Small, the very first carry, I don't think he got much, but I saw burst. That's the first thing I saw, burst. And I knew I was going to get burst from him. So it wasn't a surprise when he got it. I was like, oh, okay, let's see. But again, him barreling his shoulder down, him being willing to mix it up and run in between the tackles, that made me think to myself, Craig, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, because I don't think Craig offers that burst that Jabari Small can offer. And Jabari Small can get into the passing game too. He's no Jahmyr Gibbs. He's no David Montgomery. That's not what I'm saying. But I'll tell you this, if we're talking about who do I got to throw in there based on what I seen yesterday, is it going to be Sione Vaki or is it going to be Jabari Small? Give me some more of that Jabari Small. So I've continued to say Sione Vaki is a freak athlete, just 100% all around athlete, man. If I needed somebody to go do like a decathlon or something, I'm gonna call him. He's a freak athlete. But if we're just talking about just playing running back, Jabari Small is somebody I'm interested in seeing a lot more of, man. He's got a lot of potential there, and I think he's gonna be putting Craig into a battle. If he can offer something on special teams, Craig better look out.
What about defensively, Will? What stuck out to you defensively?
Hey, listen. I talk to you, or I talk to people about, you know, little small school action. Ian Cannelli, bang! Ian Cannelli came up with the hit stick, man. That did something to me when I was like, whoa, okay. It was in a night where you didn't get to see a lot that made you happy. That Ian Cannelli, where he scooped my man up and slammed him, I was like, man. So that stood out to me. But outside of that, effort, Ahmed Hassanin. I want to talk about Ahmed Hassanin, or Ahmed Hassanin. He's got a lot of work. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. And from a technique standpoint, I'll be honest, I didn't love his stance going down going down to that. But effort, that dude, he is gonna give. He gave exactly what I
All
expect.
gas, no brakes.
Man, everything in his soul, man. He has to just lean into this technique, man. If he figures it out, I shouldn't even say if, man, because I truly think that he will. He just seems like he's built like a guy who's going to do everything that he can to figure it out. I'm interested to see how this story unfolds, though, Steve, because from a technique standpoint, there's a lot there to be desired right now. But from an effort standpoint, you can't ask for more. So, do we have enough or enough space on this roster to find a spot for him to develop? If we do, I think that long term, it's going to reap great benefits for the Detroit Lions. But in the short term, I think we got a little bit of time. He's a little bit further away than I thought that he might be once he got out there from a technique standpoint. So I'm interested to see how the Detroit Lions handle that, because I tell you what, you put him on a practice squad and somebody's coming to get him, I believe. So I don't think that you can really get away with putting him on a practice squad. So will he hold a 53-man roster position and be able to have time to develop for the Detroit Lions? I'm going to be following that through this preseason. How'd you feel about Ahmed Hassani?
Same. Wasn't over impressed, wasn't under impressed. I understand that the situation of the football game kind of dictated what type of play he would be able to give us. We were getting blown out, so there wasn't really a lot of pass rushing situations out there for him, especially early in the game when he was mostly out there. But I think that this is just a project that's going to take a little time. Maximum effort, all gas, no brakes. He's going to give you 100% when he's out there. And I think that's all you can do right now. I love his interview after the game where he said, hey, emotional moment. I cried before I went out there. Love that. Guy loves football. Nothing really more to say about that, but someone who stood out to me, Grant Stewart. Grant Stewart was
it the fumble? Fast. Was the fumble that stood out?
I don't love that part, okay? But I don't know why a linebacker is returning kicks to begin with.
Because he's fast.
He's fast, but I have to believe there's faster people than him who are more used to carrying around a football, okay? I think that's the biggest thing. He might be fast, but does he touch the football a lot? No. I would rather have someone else in that position. But if we're just going purely defense, he had a play on Trey Lance where he blitzed up the middle, got absolutely stuffed, flipped over, got up, tracked him down for a sack. I thought that was just kind of play of the game for me. Like, that was like, oh shit, like he closed on Trey Lance in a hurry. Loved his game defensively. Special teams, I don't think that's where he's going to shine in that role as a kick returner. But there was a time out there where we were putting the ball, and I was like, all right, who's out there? We had a lot of tight ends, a couple wide receivers, and Grant Stewart. And I was like, this smells like a Dan Campbell fake. But I was like, well, preseason, we probably don't want to put too much on tape. But I could see something happening there on special teams down the road where Dan and him are setting something up. But if we're talking special teams, I thought our special teams play was absolutely atrocious yesterday. Like, if we're starting with the negatives, I think we have to start there, because play one, opening kickoff, fumble, special team. And then we had a muffed punt later. I can't remember who that was off the top of my head. Later in I think it was James. Either late second half or early third quarter. I can't remember, but I was just special teams, and we gave up too good a field position. Starting drives in their own inside like the 20 for sure, maybe even 15. But special teams, Coach Phipps got some stuff to work on. I don't know if it's personnel. I don't know if it's rust. I don't know, but I thought it was very, very, very sloppy. So I'd like to see that start to get cleaned up.
Going back
and real quick, sorry, don't mean to cut you off, but even before the game, I was watching Jake Bates kicking field goals. I don't know if they had that on the TV, but he was missing some field goals that I felt like were definitely gimmies, and he had the distance, but he was off quite a bit. I know we didn't get to see him a whole lot because we didn't score too many points, but just had to throw that out there for the special teams.
Yeah. So Grant Stewart, man, going back to that, a lot of people don't know Grant Stewart comes from the same family as Malcolm Rodriguez, as the same family as Sione Vaki. He's a guy who's played some offense and has some history of playing some offense. So I wasn't as surprised when I saw him back there. I got a lot of texts like, why is a linebacker back there? No, this is a guy who can play some offense, and this is a guy who has some speed. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell, Coach Campbell, doubles down and says, hey, listen, it wasn't a mistake. The moment probably got too big for him, and he made a mistake. Shoot, the following kickoff, he was right back out there returning the next one. And I thought he looked pretty good. He looked fast. He looked fearless. You know, he says his personality is crash out. It looked like crash out. He doesn't give a darn. He's not worried about his body. He's coming downhill, trying to run across your body and get as many yards as he can. I like it. I think that it needs to be worked on, is where I'm at with it. And the bottom line is there going to be some other options come regular season? Yeah, but when's the best time to try something? In the preseason, man. So let's see what he's got through the preseason. I'd like to see Lovett back there. Obviously, we're going to get Khalif Raymond when the regular season starts, man. It didn't bother me too much, man. I think we're going to see more of it. I just want to put that little sprinkle on there that yeah, he's got an offensive background. So, and it was even talked about when we picked him up. Yeah, he's going to play linebacker, but hey, you don't be surprised if you see him pop up on the offense for a gadget play here or there.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, if you're going to try something, now's the time. While it really doesn't mean much, so I get it, and I even said the same thing. Like, I would rather not have a linebacker back there, but just bad time for a bad play. The opening kickoff kind of deflated a lot of sales right then and there. But I knew there was still a lot of football left. But I don't know that I want to see that in the regular season. But if you want to do that all preseason and tinker and see what you got for some gadget trick plays later on down the road, all for it. Let's figure it out now. Will, I think there's just a massive elephant in the room. Massive, massive, massive elephant. I'm just going to say it. I think we are absolutely fucked if Jared Goff gets hurt. Absolutely. We're just toast. Do you have any faith in either of these backup quarterbacks?
I'm going to say this. After having a night to really think about it and digest it, I still haven't got a chance to go through the all 22 because I really want to go through the all 22 and just try to get a feel for what Hendon was looking at. I felt like he held on to a lot of footballs that he didn't really go through the progression. He kind of just tucked it and kind of got ready to take off. So I want to see if he was missing reads or if people just weren't open or what the situation was. But I don't want to panic after the first game. And I want to kind of see how this thing unfolds. Now, I still stand on, if you follow me on Twitter or X, Teddy Bridgewater, I'm a little disappointed. I haven't got the tweet that he's a Detroit Lion yet. I am a little bit disappointed of that, but I'm not going to panic too much. Now, I'm concerned about the situation, and I'm concerned about the way that things operated yesterday. I just felt like things didn't operate clean from the plays being executed. It just didn't feel smooth. Personnel didn't feel smooth at times. It just felt a little bit off. And I agree, the start with the fumble and turnovers and those things kind of got us playing with short field and stuff. It kind of got us a little bit behind the 8 ball. Things just didn't start off with a good momentum. But still, this has me wondering, is this something that is going to leak into September? Or are we going to get this figured out through the preseason? I would suspect we look at this film, we watch it a couple of times, then we burn it, and we learn from it. That's going to be my expectation. But it's one more week for me. The next week, I need to see things running cleaner, especially offensively. I don't know. They just looked a little bit discombobulated. Is it a new offense that they're having a hard time with? Is it getting the plays in? Is it new processes with new people and new positions? I'm not sure what it is, Steve, but it just didn't look clean. It didn't look clear and concise. It didn't look smooth. That worries me. So am I out of my mind worried? No, because Coach Campbell's still there. So I think ultimately Coach Campbell's going to figure it out. Bottom line is, if need be, Coach Campbell will take the thing over. He showed that when we had Anthony Lynn in the building, and Anthony Lynn was laying an egg, and he said, listen, Anthony, appreciate your service. I'm just going to take this thing over. So still got Coach Campbell, still got the main man doing the main thing if we need to, man. I'm not too worried about it, but I didn't like how things looked all the way around. So that said, I'm not just going to hang it on the quarterbacks, but I didn't enjoy either quarterback yesterday.
William, I apologized to you yesterday in a text, and I have to do it to everyone for even mentioning Kyle Allen in the same breath as
Josh
Josh
Allen?
Allen. And as much as you know, I was kidding. I can't believe I disrespected Josh Allen by even doing that. I've never even met the guy, but I told you that was a one-time thing, and it was done until like 2 plays later when he scrambled for a 3-yard gain, and I said, Josh Allen's back. Okay. But yeah, just absolute. I don't think I've seen worse quarterback play in my life. In the first half, I was like, okay, Kyle Allen literally just lost the second string quarterback job. If that was what we were doing with starting him, I don't think it was, but if that was even a question, it's dead now. Hendon Hooker is quarterback 2. Go out there and just play better than what Kyle Allen did. And you're QB2. He couldn't do it well. And he doesn't have many opportunities to steal this job, especially when it's literally just being handed to him by other poor quarterback play. So I feel like Hendon Hooker completely shit the bed. I have zero faith that if anything happens to Jared Goff, that Hendon Hooker, Kyle Allen, Lamar Allen, Josh Allen, anyone's coming in here and winning games, because I think we have to protect Jared Goff at all costs. Okay, have to, because there is no contingency plan right now that I'm comfortable with. It's not Kyle Allen. It's not Hendon Hooker. I just saw Hendon holding the ball too long, no urgency, wasn't really playing on time, like just waited, tried to use his athleticism to kind of buy a little bit more time a couple times, and absolutely got slammed on his neck once. Don't like seeing that. You just had a concussion last year. Don't go out and get your head bounced off the turf again. I don't think that was a good look. At that point, I was like, all right, let's just get out of here. Let's try to beat some traffic and go home. But Will, I just don't know. When you only have a handful of opportunities to show that you could potentially be the face of the franchise for the Detroit Lions in a couple seasons, I didn't see that today. I'm not going to see it probably next week. So I don't know when it's going to come. This is a guy that's in his 3rd year as a Detroit Lion. I know the first year he was banged up, but the last 2 seasons, I don't know. I don't feel like he played bad last year, so I don't know if we're regressing. I don't know what it is. I feel like the talent around him should be better. I don't know what the problem is, Will, but what I saw yesterday from the quarterback play was absolute dog shit.
For me, one more week. I'm gonna give it one more week, and then I'm really gonna be in a bad way if he doesn't play well next week. Either one of these guys, it's gonna be. I'm gonna really be. I'm not gonna say in a panic, but I'll be putting pressure via the podcast on. We need to look in a different direction. But I will say this is why I say the things that I say throughout the offseason. I was asking, and then even the previous year, I've been asking and begging for more quarterbacks. You can never have too many good quarterbacks, and if you have 2 great ones on your team that have starting abilities and you want to deal one, then they have awesome trade value, And I was even talking to somebody. That's the reason why I wanted to see what Hendon Hooker was or wasn't earlier, because even if he doesn't have trade value, now you know what he is and you can move on from him as well, right? And if he played out of his mind, then he'll have some trade value, or you'll have a guy that can stand in if you need somebody to stand in for Jared Goff. So now we have some suspicions on what he may be, and we can take a look at him next week and then move accordingly. But I feel like the breadcrumbs were there. I said one thing this offseason that stood out to me again. If he was really like that, I think that Coach Glenn would have been going after him heavily. Coach Glenn seen him every single day. Coach Glenn decided to go a different route. He decided to go after Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is 3 guys that I've talked about here wanting to bring in, and all 3 times you guys hammered me and told me I was an idiot, and I don't know if they're all going to be any good yet, but I still stand on getting them in the building for cheap. Just makes sense. You can't have too many good quarterbacks in the building. Justin Fields was one. I wanted to get Justin Fields in here. Pittsburgh went and got him for what, a 6th-round pick or something crazy?
Jets.
What are we? Yeah. No, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had him first. He's
last year. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like originally. So originally when I started talking about him, I was like, hey man, maybe get the Bears a call because they got Caleb Williams coming in. Maybe give him a call and see if you can get him in here, see what he's got. Because at a minimum, you could have did exactly what Pittsburgh did. Had him in as kind of gadget plays, and if you wanted to do some QB sneaks and whatever, you would have had him in the building. That would have been nice to see. Then on top of that, it was Trey Lance. Trey Lance played out of his mind yesterday. That's another guy that I was saying, hey, just so you to get him in the building, let him get in here and compete. He's young. He's still younger than. Hey, is it younger than Hendon Hooker? Probably. I don't know. He's still young. He's 25 years old. He's young. So that's another guy, man. Get him in the building. And the last one was Joe Milton. I was saying, hey, just throw a 6th-round pick out there for Joe Milton, man, because you can never have too many good or potentially good quarterbacks in the building. Just keep throwing stuff at the wall while you have a awesome quarterback until one of these guys that you're taking chances on sticks, man. I think this is what the Detroit Lions should be doing, man. So hopefully this is a lesson learned. Hopefully this gets figured out. But at the end of it, I'm not giving up on Hendon Hooker until next week. Then if next week is bad, then I'll really be
on. I'm on like the last 2 chapters of the Hendon Hooker book, Will, and it better start getting good before I call it a doo-doo book and not recommend it to anyone. Like, didn't like what I saw. Just don't know, Will. But all in all, I thought it was an ugly game for the Detroit Lions. But when you're really talking about essentially glorified practices, there was some good things to take out of this that we spoke in the beginning of the show. So there's still plenty of room to get better. My biggest takeaway is, regardless of preseason or not, can't turn the ball over 5 times. All right. You are not going to win too many football games when you are -5 in the turnover margin, especially on special teams where you're pretty much giving the field to the other team in the red zone, or what I thought at first was going to be a pick 6, but that's another possession for the offense starting in the red zone. So that's just too easy a points that we gave the Chargers. And I put most of that on the offense and special teams, but I thought we ran the football pretty well. I thought we blocked pretty well. I thought we pass protected pretty well. And the quarterback play was very, very subpar for me all in all. So the turnovers, poor quarterback play, some other intricate things that probably need to be cleaned up. But yeah, I'm not panicking. Like, I'm just a little worried about that backup quarterback position. That's all I got for tonight. Will, you got anything else?
Yeah, last question would be, you kind of answered the question, but I want to set the table. Does any of the coaching worry you at all? Does any of the special teams mishaps? I think there was a little bit of discombobulation offensively in certain situations. It felt like there were some things that went on defensively. Shoot, Trevor Nowatzki lined up off sides 2 times that I can think off the top of my head, and I think a couple other guys did too. Just little ticky-tack things. Do you think that the new staff had a role in that? And is that something that you're worried about moving forward?
My biggest worry would be special teams, but I mean, Coach Phipp's been there for a couple of years. I think this is just comes down to execution and potentially, like you said, trying some new things with Grant Stewart. If that's something we're trying to get a look at for later on down the road, no issues. But I did not love what I saw special teams, and I can't blame it on the coach because he's a guy that's been in the building for a couple seasons. So I don't think it's his issue. Offensively, I know we're playing with backups, 3rd stringers. I don't think we were going to put any special types of plays out there and put too much film out. I knew it was going to be a bland vanilla offense. Even our run game wasn't very creative. It was 3 yards here, 4 yards there. Like, if a hole opens up, maybe we get 13. I don't think it was anything special. The passing game, same thing. I don't think any of our route concepts were anything mesmerizing to write home to your mother about. But, we got some guys open, like to Isaac, and I think Dominic Lovett had a good game. So there's some positive there. I'm not worried about the coaching staff. Defensively, I just thought, we gave the field position battle away early. Like, first play, defense, Coach Shep, he's up against it, trying to keep points off the board. Not a whole lot you can do there. So, no, I'm not panicked. Special teams need cleaned up, but I can't blame the coaching staff for that.
I'm with you, man. The only thing that I will say, I see a lot of people tweeting out it's preseason. It does not matter. I think it matters. Now, is it the end of the world? It's not. But there's some things that we got to clean up. Never am I going to be okay with turning the ball over or things not just going smooth. I'm not saying that the plays have to be successful. I need things to go smooth next week, though, from getting the plays in, from the execution of plays, from ball security, from special teams. I just want to see smooth operation of football things next week. So that's what I'm looking for, to give me a warm and fuzzy, not panicked either. But that's all I got for me either.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got, another week of practice, another week to get better, another week to sharpen up, and stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.